apology that I'll give you is this. Oh, I am not a liberal anymore. Not by any stretch of the imagination, but I refuse to leave Los Angeles. I'm like that guy sitting on his porch with a gun saying, over my dead body, you're going to take my property. And the book will tell you, I learned a few practical skills that I hope that the book imparts upon you the same life lesson. And that is, if you're ever fearful of confrontation, if you're ever fearful of not being liked by your neighbors, I've had a few extraordinary experiences where I too am human and I was fearful of being rejected. And in the book I get into it, I once went on the Bill Maher show. When my first book came out, I was like, oh my gosh, I'm going to be on television with an audience. I'm going to be famous. And so I went on the show and I made a bunch of jokes and I was liked. And the writers liked me afterwards. And I was like, all right, that was so cool. And I went out to lunch with my friend Richard Hara. And he said, oh, you were great on TV. Why didn't you stand up for what you believed in? Ooh, you have no idea how much it hurt. That was 2005, I believe. I ended up going on the show again in 2008. It had been a while, and it was at the beginning of 2009, beginning of the Obama administration. And I remember how I had sleepless nights thinking about, what if they boo me? What if I'm not liked? But I also had sleepless nights with Richard in my head saying, why didn't you stand up for what you believe in? Why didn't you stand up for what you believe in? And I kid you not, I was standing off to the side with Professor Michael Eric Dyson, who speaks in a iambic pentameter, deaf poetry slam, deconstructive, culturally Marxist jargon that nobody understands. It's known Chomskyan in its delivery, where everybody tends to understand what he said, and all you can get out of it is, you're a racist, you're closet racist, you're an institutional racist. That's all he's saying in all this highfalutin language. And they got rid of the neutralizing third person on the panel. So it was Smirky Mar, his MoveOn.org evil audience, and the Marxist sociology professor whose sole role was to tag team me with the audience and Mar to frame me as the racist, which is when they don't have arguments, they use that duh. I mean, all of us in the Tea Party movement understand that. Great. Kind of funny. I went on the show about 3 weeks ago, and he was like, racist teabagger, racist teabagger. I said, yeah, Bill, let's do a Bill Maher, Andrew Breitbart poll on the Allen West Herman Cain all-black Tea Party ticket. End parenthesis. So anyway, I went on the show, and I was off to the side, standing next to him before we went out on the stage, and I kept saying to myself, it was like out of Lucas, the movie, it was like I was just this tiny little freshman about to go out there and play football. I'm like, what's going to happen? They're going to beat me up. Just stand up for what you believe in. I just kept saying it over and over like I was like a ninth grader. Just stand up for what you believe in. And I went out there, and I knew. The book talks about what I discovered through a series of epiphanies that turned me to the left. And I realized that the problem isn't Bill Clinton. He's a symptom of the problem. And he understood when he went out with the Thomasons. That's how obsessed I am. The Evening Shade Arkansans. He goes out there and he goes on Arsenio Hall and The Tonight Show. He goes, #1 guy in the country. We're going to vote for this guy because we're a pop culturally infused